Lying 55 kilometers southeast of Paris, Fontainebleau has stood in the forests of rural France for nearly 1,000 years. In his memoirs, Napoleon Bonaparte called the imposing structure the true home of kings. Today, Chateau de Fontainebleau is a gigantic structure containing 1,500 rooms. With constant renovations and additions by kings and emperors over 7 centuries, it has changed dramatically through the years.
In French, the word château means both castle and palace. And this is not an accident because, of course, royal houses were first in the Middle Ages castles and then later developed into very grand palaces as we know them today. So Fontainebleau starts off as a castle round a courtyard with a keep. And indeed, the keep of 1137 still survives. It was Francis I that decided to transform this castle into something which we would describe as a palace by building huge corridors and galleries attached to the original castle, while keeping some of the original buildings.
Plumbed in directly below the gallery have since been removed.
Having a room in your house devoted entirely to bathing was virtually unique. And of course, all of the associated plumbing and everything that was required would have been completely innovative. The same kind of technology that was being employed in Renaissance fountains and elsewhere to create water displays was there to be used in creating Francis I's bathroom. It was the fact that it was being used for a bathroom that was unusual.
The bathrooms were even adorned with artworks of the day, including one of the world's most priceless portraits.
Bath apartment housed the collection of paintings of Francis I, with some paintings not very famous, such as the Mona Lisa, or all the big Raphaels that are in the Louvre. They were all exposed in this appartement des bains downstairs in the Château de Fontainebleau.
There was art everywhere in the palace, and including the fact that the Mona Lisa was at one point hung in some of the bathrooms, that this great priceless painting, the most priceless painting now in the world, was just stuck in a bathroom because they had so many other great pieces of art that almost the Mona Lisa was just a footnote.
Another grand addition to Fontainebleau was the stunning ballroom. It was still under construction when Francis I died in 1547.
So we are in the Salle de Bal of the Château de Fontainebleau, a space that was conceived under the reign of Francis I, but only accomplished under the reign of its son, King Henry II. All that you can see on the walls or on the ceiling are the work of Italian artists who came to Fontainebleau in the 16th century to work for the kings of France. For example, the frescoes were done by Niccolò dell'Abate upon the drawings of Francesco Primaticcio, one of the most important representatives of what is called the first school of Fontainebleau.
After the death of Rosso Fiorentino in 1540, Francesco Primaticcio had taken sole control of the artistic direction at Fontainebleau. The frescoes in the ballroom are all his creation.
So here you have the Feast of Bacchus. You can recognize Bacchus in the center. He's a bit greenish now. With the cup he's holding in his hand and the grape wreath he has on his head. Then you move to this arcade where you see Apollo playing a kind of lute for the muses on Mount Parnassus. And look how the drapery here overhangs on the architecture, or how the arm of this lovely lady playing the flute is climbing on the arch. So there you see how much in Fontainebleau architecture and painting are fusing with one another, and that's really the school of Fontainebleau. It's because architecture, sculpture, painting are all imagined together by just one mind, and here it was the mind of Primaticcio.